Okay, I have to get back on track this week, and so I'm reading a lot of stuff on the internet. So I found this article, 4 Ways to Lose Weight and Keep It Off. And it's from William Anderson, and it said it took more than willpower to lose 140 pounds and keep it off for 30 years. Okay, that's a success story if I've ever heard of one. It really is, because I can see from my own past week, or I shouldn't say week, I should say past month, that I've tended to go back to my old way of eating, and I just can't do that. And he lost 140 pounds, and he said he still eats what he wants to eat, but he eats it in moderation. And that's like I basically say that I'm going to live my life, I'm going to enjoy my life. Unfortunately, I've been living my life a little too well, if you know what I mean. I've been going a little crazy with the stuff that I've been eating, and I have to learn to do better. And it's always a struggle. And if we were born with the greatest willpower on earth, we wouldn't be overweight. I have some willpower, not as much as I need on some days. Some days I really need more. And so he's just kind of given some different things that you can do, that you have to change your behavior. And that's the main thing, is to change your behavior. And a lot of people, when they're dieting, they count calories. And then once they're done and they've lost their weight, they go back to normal. And they just eat what they want and they stop counting calories. You still should kind of somewhat be aware of what your calories are, especially with this freestyle program. The freestyle program, there's so many 0-point foods. And there's really, like my nuts, I know are 5 points for my nuts, a 1/4 cup of nuts, which I absolutely love. But they're very high in calories. They're also good, there's a good healthy fat, which your diet, you need healthy fats. But I think that I can't have nuts every single day. Even though they're 5 points and I count them into my what do you call it? My plan for the day. It's still a lot of calories, and so if I could be eating the nuts, but I could be eating some other stuff that is 0 points and have a lot of calories, and I can be consuming too many calories in a day. And you have to know what you consider normal and what's not normal. It's not normal to have cake every single day of the week. But it's normal to have cake on your birthday. It's not normal to have a dessert with every meal. But it's pretty normal to have a dessert on a special holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter or an anniversary. That's pretty much normal. You just have to remember that as much as you like certain desserts, you can't have them every day. You really can't. One of the first rules he tells you about is just to forget about the number on the scale. I am so consumed with being in the 20s that I get very distracted with myself. And I go back and forth between the 20s and the 30s and the 20s and the 30s. And I did that with the 50s and the 60s, or no, the 60s and the 70s. I did that. I played that little mind game with myself. And then when I just really thought about it, once I got into the 50s, I thought, I'm not going to worry about it anymore. And I sailed through the 50s, and I sailed through the 40s, and I sailed through the 30s. I got into the 20s, and then my mind came back to the number on the scale. And I started worrying about the number on the scale. And once again, I'm back and forth and back and forth. And I know I've told you I want to get back into the 20s, but right now, the only thing I'm focusing on is just trying to lose 10 pounds between now and the end of the year. If I don't lose 10 pounds, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to try the best that I can do. But it's better than saying, well, I'm going to wait until the first of the year, and then I'm really going to be all gung-ho and dedicated to this. Because if I wait till then, I could put on 10 pounds. There's not a doubt in my mind that I can. And we all know that losing weight is a gift. And losing weight is nice, rather. It's a great gift, but the main thing that people need to do is learn how to live in a way where they will not gain weight. Some people are just born with the gift of they can eat whatever they want. I am not one of them people. I cannot eat whatever I want. I have to keep track of what I want, when I want it, and do I really want it that badly. There are still a couple cupcakes left in the other room. I just happened to notice them on the counter. It's a counter that I don't usually go by, but I'm going to give them to Kylie today. And when she gets home from school, I'm going to call her and tell her to come get these cupcakes. Get them out of my house, because I just can't throw them away. I wish I could just throw them away, but I can't. But Kylie's a kid. She can afford to eat them, so I'm going to give them to her. You also have to be very important to realize that you need to be realistic with your goals. If you enjoy a if a quiet lifestyle, you have to know that how much you eat is going to reflect how much you don't move. If you just eat and don't move, you're going to gain weight. You can move a little bit more. It's always, some people have issues that they can't walk. They have back problems, different things that keep them from doing exercise. Try to do as much as you can. There are chair exercises. Get some little weights. If you don't have weights, get some canned food and just practice doing little exercises in your chair. Anything that you can do, any little bit of exercise is better than no exercise at all. And if you don't really know the calories of anything, look it up online. Not to say that you should calorie count. I think that you should be aware of your freestyle 0-point foods, how many calories are actually in it. I love eggs, but like I can't eat 2 and 3 and 4 eggs a day. That's a lot of calories. Even though there's 0 points, it's still adding calories on my body. Another thing what you want to do is eat what you enjoy. I do not like yogurt. I don't like those premium protein shakes. I don't like low-fat foods. I don't like margarine. I don't like spraying my pan with Pam. I like to use the butter. And I figured into my points. Even if I'm putting it on like to grease the pan or something, the little tiny little bit, I be honest with you, I don't track the little tiny little bit of butter that I put on the bottom of the pan. I probably should, but it's such a small amount, and it's just to keep whatever I'm cooking from sticking. I don't go crazy with it. Whereas with the Pam, I think I would be spraying it, and so I'm kind of defeating the purpose. And I've learned that I can eat what I want as long as I keep the portions in control. If I want Cheetos, there's a lady at our meeting that's lost, I think she's lost 95 pounds. And she has 3 times a week, she has Cheetos. And she says it. She says she has Cheetos. But she figures it into her program, figures it into her points, and looks forward to having it. And she doesn't feel deprived. And she's been very successful. I think she's lost 95 pounds in less than a year. She's younger, which gives her an advantage right there. But she doesn't give up. And she's determined. And she's not giving up foods that she likes. And I'm not going to eat something just because it's good for me. If I don't like it, there are a lot of foods that I do like that are good for me. I'm going to eat the foods that I like that are good for me. I'm not going to force down something that I don't like and then resent it. The old Weight Watchers used to tell you you had to eat liver once a week. I never did because I just couldn't even stomach the thought of putting a piece of liver in my mouth. And then another thing that they have, which I do love, is back when I did it back in the day, you had to have tuna or fish 5 days a week. So I would have tuna. I just grew to resent tuna because it was like, no. And it took me the longest time to go back and have like a tuna fish sandwich. And now I usually have one on Fridays. Only because when I was growing up, you couldn't eat meat on Fridays. And so I tend to still follow that plan. I tend to not eat meat on Fridays. Not to say that I don't occasionally eat meat on Fridays. But for the most part, I kind of avoid meat on Fridays. It's just ingrained in my mind. Just like doing my bills, it's ingrained in my mind that I got to have a snack when I'm done with. It's a behavior that I've had for my whole life, and it's a behavior that I'm sticking around with, letting it stick around with me. Another thing what you want to do is time your meals. Try to figure out when you're hungriest and try to time your meal around that time. I had a problem in the past of eating at night, watching TV, sitting down at TV and watching TV rather, and eating something at night. Now I try to eat my dinner around 6:30 or 7 o'clock. I know I'm at an age where everybody makes the jokes that, like you got to go to dinner at 4 o'clock for the early bird special. That is not me. That is just not me. I like to eat my breakfast or lunch or whatever you want to call it. I have to think of a better name because it's not really breakfast and it's not really lunch and it's not really brunch. It's just something. But I like to eat around between 1 and 2. And then I like to eat my dinner between 6:30 and 7. I am trying this week to kind of cut back because I've had so many people notice, which I've noticed myself, is I have a lot on my plate and I sit and eat a lot at one time. I have to get back to, even though there's 0 points, I need to cut back on that a little bit. And if that means throwing in a snack in the afternoon, I'm going to start trying to do that. I'm not going to plan 3 meals, but I might try to plan 2 meals and a snack. And that might help me over my hump of that. Also, if you know that if you're working, you know that your lunchtime is a certain time, figure out like 4 or 5 hours before that you're going to eat breakfast. Plan your day, like this is going to be my breakfast at this time, this is going to be a snack at this time, I'm going to eat my lunch, I'm going to have a light snack in the afternoon, then I'm going to have my dinner. That's too much eating for me, but I mean, a lot, that's normal for the whole world, but not for me. And just know that you can do this. It's just, I have to convince myself that I can get back on plan. And it's really being really difficult. When I have gone back to my old way of eating, I've shown myself, the 1 week I gained 9.5 pounds, then I lost 7 the following week, and then I thought, oh, I'm getting pretty confident here. And then I gained 5 or 6.6 pounds or 6.5 pounds. It was so much I didn't even, realize it. And it's because I'm thinking I can go back to my old way of eating. And I can't. I can never go back to my old way of eating. I have to learn, which I have learned in almost 2 years, but I forgot through the month of November. Somehow I forgot that I can eat what I want. I just don't have to go crazy eating it, because I went crazy. There's no other word for it. I went crazy. And there's no call for that. There's really no call. I can have whatever I want when I want it, and I don't need to feel deprived. I have to get out of the weekend mindset that I have to eat really well Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday I can eat whatever I want. I have to get through the weekend. And I did it a couple weeks ago when I was doing my 5 perfect days. And that's something I'm really considering doing again, is 5 perfect days. I need to do that on the weekends, because I don't know why. My weekends, I'm retired. My weekends are the same as my weekdays. There's nothing all that drastic differently. The only thing different is on Saturday mornings I get up to go to my Weight Watchers meeting, and on Sundays I get up to go to church. The rest of the week, I still get up in the morning, I still do stuff, I still have certain times that I'm doing things, and I just have to, as I have always said, it's all in your mind, it's all in your mindset, because you can always determine how successful you're going to be and how much you're going to fail. You put that thought in your mind, because nobody can tell you that you're going to be a success unless you believe it yourself. If you don't believe you're going to be successful, you're not going to be successful. And if you believe that you're going to be a failure, you're going to be a failure. So you got to remember, what your mind thinks is how your body reacts. And you're the only one that's with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you followed me, you know I hate the expression 24/7. One of the only truly things you can say in life is that you are with yourself 24/7. And you're the only one that controls what goes in your mouth. And nobody's holding you down and forcing food down your mouth. Nobody's forcing you to have that stuff. People might try to guilt you into trying to take stuff, but you're the one that's going to make the final decision. You know whether or not. Somebody could try to tell you, like your mother always said, if somebody jumped off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge too? You have to know that you control your own destiny. And until you realize that you control your own destiny, you're not going to succeed. And I have determined in the last couple days that I determine my destiny. I determine how I'm going to finish out this year, how I'm going to start out the next year, and how I am going to reach my goal by next Christmas. That is my goal. I'm going to reach my goal by next Christmas. If I don't get right on my goal, I'm going to be pretty darn close. I know that. But, okay, I'm done. I'm done preaching, because I'm like preaching to the choir. You guys know all of this stuff. You know it. And I think I just needed to say it out loud to convince myself. So thank you for listening to me, because I needed to hear that. So give this video a like, leave a comment. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and share it if you think somebody might like to see it. So I'll talk to you guys on my daily vlog.